Have you ever looked at a photo that you edited yesterday and thought, what was wrong with me? What was I thinking? I mean, it's not like you suddenly got worse at editing, but you're looking at this photo and you're seeing it with completely different eyes. I mean, now you hate it, right? And it might even seem foreign to you. Are your eyes and brain just playing a trick on you? Hey, I'm Jeff from Magnolia Photography SC, professional wildlife photographer in Charleston, South Carolina. If you're returning to the channel, I want to welcome you back. Glad you're here again. And if you're new to the channel, I want to welcome you in. We're so glad that you're joining us. Did you know that there is actually a real science behind your photo editing and why it falls apart? Why one day you love it, but the next you don't? Today, I'm going to expose 4 hidden forces that are sabotaging your photos and how to beat them. Number 1, visual adaptation or eye fatigue. Did you know that your eyes and brain are constantly adapting to your environment, right? So if you have changing lighting, changing color, changing contrast, your eyes and brain are constantly making adjustments. It's a process called chromatic adaptation and contrast adaptation. If you've been staring at a computer screen, right, you're editing photos for a couple hours and you're looking at high contrast scenes and high saturation scenes, this can actually cause a shift in your perception. Eye strain can actually cause a reduction in sensitivity to see color and detail. Even the time of day can influence how your eyes and brain process color. So depending on the time of the day, maybe you have natural ambient lighting that's a little bit warmer, or perhaps it's a little bit cooler. If you're working on a monitor that's not calibrated, or you're working in an environment with uncontrolled lighting, this can greatly impact your ability to perceive color. So the takeaway from this first one, what looked perfect to you yesterday might now look oversaturated, oversharpened, or even flat. Eye fatigue has a significant impact on your ability to perceive a lot of different things. Number 2, cognitive bias or mood influence. This is pretty interesting, right? Your emotional state and mental fatigue can influence how you critically or creatively assess your own work. Studies actually show when you're tired, you're more likely to default to habits and miss critical issues. When you're anxious or insecure, you're a lot more likely to over-edit or doubt your edits. When inspired, you might accept bolder color grades or make creative choices that feel right in the moment. The takeaway from this is that your edits can be greatly influenced by your mindset. One day you're subtle and cautious, and the next you're bold and saturate. Number 3, circadian rhythms impact visual processing. Research shows that cognitive and visual acuity fluctuate based on your circadian rhythms. Your visual system is sharper and more accurate during mid-mornings and early evenings. Low light at night and your monitor brightness can actually impact your ability to judge luminance and white balance. So the takeaway here, if you're editing late at night, this can cause overcompensation in brightness, contrast, and warmth. Number 4, environmental and monitor conditions. Even if your perception is stable, your environment isn't. Generally speaking, our editing rooms have constantly changing light, especially if there are windows in the room, right? Because if we have a cloudy day versus a sunny day, or we start off with a cloudy day and eventually it turns sunny, all of these differences in ambient light are going to impact the room that we are in and the lighting environments. Depending on what monitor you're using, as the monitor is cooler versus warmer, there can definitely be shifts in its temperature value. Non-calibrated monitors actually drift in their color accuracy. The takeaway here is that one day your edits can feel perfect to you. They can feel balanced. They can look great. But then the next day when you return, things look very different to you. And this is why you start to question yourself on what you were thinking the day before. Again, it's not your skills in editing. You didn't suddenly get worse. Your eyes and your brain, due to lighting, due to shifts in your monitor, color accuracies, temperature accuracies, all of these things cause a different perception for you. Now that we kind of understand that we don't suck at editing and it's not our eyes and brains playing just cruel jokes on us, what can we do to kind of combat some of these scientific issues that we have going on in our photo editing? One of the best things that you can do for yourself and for your eyes and your brain is to give yourself frequent breaks while you're editing. So if you're sitting down to edit and you're spending more than an hour's worth of time doing your editing, it's going to be important to get up and take 5 or 10 minutes to walk away from your computer screen to let your eyes and your brain relax a little bit. And then you can come back and resume your editing. Another good practice to add with this is not to think that today is your final edit. And I've talked about this before on previous episodes, but it's always good to revisit your edit the next day, right? See it with that fresh set of eyes, see it in a new lighting environment, right? The first day is kind of like your proof, right? Your rough draft. The next day when you come back, you can make whatever tweaks you're gonna make, and this will probably put your edit in a much better place. And of course, if this is possible, this isn't possible for everybody, but you always wanna edit in the most consistent place possible, right? Something that's a little bit more controlled with lighting. This might be a room with no windows, or it might be a room with windows, but maybe these windows don't get a lot of light, right? Maybe it's a basement with small windows that don't really impact the setup of your room. Maybe there's just not enough light filtering in to really make a significant difference when things are changing, when it's cloudy, when it's dark, right? When it's sunny, and so on down the line. So these are some great things that you can try to do in your setup, your house, wherever you're editing. Just try to make it as consistent as possible. When you're editing, it might be a good idea to have a reference image or a place where you can have like a neutral gray color card on your digital screen, right? Something there that can help to kind of recalibrate your eyes. This can be really helpful if you're editing and you feel like you're kind of struggling with color, you're struggling to see things. Take a break from looking at the image you're looking at and just look at something that's in like a neutral gray color. This can kind of help to reset your eyes and get you refocused. Use a monitor calibrator. This is really important, and this is something that I use quite frequently. I'll use it anywhere between 1 to 3 months on my computer screens, depending on how much I'm using them. But over time, your monitor is going to shift in color accuracy. Right? It's going to shift in color temperature. And so all you need to do is put on a monitor calibrator, and this will really go a long way in making sure that your monitor is really sharp when it comes to colors. And this can be really beneficial, and it's pretty amazing. Once you get done with the process, it'll show you what your monitor looked like before, and it'll show you what it looks like after the calibration is done. And it's usually pretty remarkable. Don't spend all your time editing zoomed in, right? I know a lot of you out there like to pixel peep, right? You like to really zoom in 200, 300, 400% when you're doing your editing. And hey, that is good in some situations, right? If we're sharpening our images, hey, it's great to be zoomed in where we can really see the details and impact we're making when we're sharpening our photos. But this is not how we want to work all the time. This will place extra strain on your eyes. So if you are that type of photo editor that likes to work zoomed in, make sure that you are frequently zooming all the way out so you can see the image as a whole and really kind of assess everything that's going on with the image. That's also going to help reduce some of the strain on your eyes. At the end of the day, your eyes lie. They shift with your mood, your lighting, and your level of fatigue. Your eyes are not cameras. They are flawed emotional sensors. This is why great photo editing demands more than just skill. It demands discipline, restraint, and the guts to walk away and come back stronger. Hey, I hope you learned something in this video today. I thought this was pretty interesting because I know that I have this feeling all the time. I edit a photo, I come back later, and I seriously look at myself and go, dude, what were you thinking? Right? What were you doing here? What was going on in your brain that would have made you think that this looked good? This happens all the time. And it's kind of nice to know that there is a reason behind it other than we're struggling with editing or it has something to do with our editing skills. There's actually science behind all of this. And it can really, I think if you don't understand this, you can kind of start to feel like you're going a little bit crazy. Like, what am I doing, man? My edits have been so good lately, and now all of a sudden, I'm just struggling to see everything that I'm doing. So I hope this helps you. I hope it gives you some ideas of what you can do in your work environment to maybe make it a little bit more consistent, maybe to control the lighting that's going on, the ambient lighting, and maybe look at doing a color monitor calibration, right? Maybe pick up one of those tools. You can get them all over the place. I will try to leave a link down in the show notes for a good color monitor that you can pick up on Amazon if you're interested in checking that out. I use the X-Rite and I've had it for a very, very long time, but it works great. I mean, it is one of those things that you'll buy and have for a long time. Probably going to cost you, a couple, $300 or so to get a decent one that is going to perform well for you. But hey, other than that, guys, are you tired of monthly subscription fees when it comes to your editing software? Are you tired of AI-controlled edits? One of the things I love about DxO Photolab 8 is that not only do you own the program, but you own your process with tons of precision tools for you to control every single detail in your image. You're not relying on some AI tool and some algorithm's guess to get your photos right. It's all within your control. If you want to check out any of the products from DxO Photolab, just head on over to dxo.com where you can download a 30-day free trial and try out the program for yourself. If you like what you see, if you're real happy with what you can do with the program, then come on back to the show notes here. I have a special link down in the show notes, and use that link coupled with my special discount code Magnolia at the time of checkout, and this will save you 15% off on any of your purchases. Other than that, head over to my store, magnoliaphotographysc.com/store. If you're new to DxO Photolab or you've been using it for a while but just want to kind of elevate your skills, then be sure to check out my DxO Photolab 8 Masterclass, and this is going to help you to do just that. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I deeply and sincerely appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, you might want to give this video a try.